Yeah.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Too Many Words. This is episode 23,
Yes, it is.
and today's date is January 16th, 8:02 p.m. on a Monday. Jordan, how you doing?
I am exhausted.
Why?
I've been working a lot and I've been having an extra day off like every week because my boss was giving me my flex days.
Pause.
Um, what?
I'm your co-host, Isaac William Joseph, along with Jordan. Continue.
I'm Jordan.
Sorry. I feel like I haven't done this in so long.
I mean, it's been
It's been a week and
10
3
days?
days.
9 days.
Yeah.
Also, you were right. I was wrong. It's not 13 days. It is 15 days.
It's whatever.
I was thinking it was one less instead of one more. I'm sorry.
Oh, dude, it's whatever.
It's now whatever to me.
I accept your apology because I didn't have any hard feelings behind it in the first place.
I'm emotional, okay? So this is everything.
I'm emotional too.
Everything is.
It's all good.
feelings.
What about your boss? Did he kiss you?
No. My boss was giving me an extra day off, past couple weeks, but like, not necessarily as a result of that, but like also kind of as a result of that. I've been working like 9-10 hour days.
Damn.
I'm pretty pooped. This is my first week on a normal schedule. I did work 8 hours and 20 minutes today, so I guess I got 20 minutes of overtime. But it was also a rough day. I was busting my ass pretty hard, so I'm tired. I'm just tired.
I'm tired too, bro. Not gonna lie. My ass hurts, my neck hurts, my shoulder hurts, my arms hurt, and my head hurts, and my back hurts. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Snow
wanna
is freaking
explain?
hard, bro.
You want to explain why?
Yeah. You want to ask me about my Minnesota trip?
Why do you hurt so much?
Oh,
What did
because
you
I
do
suck
over the
shit
weekend?
at snowboarding. That's why.
Oh, is that really it?
Well, it's been over a decade since I actually snowboarded.
I didn't know you ever done it before. So
Oh yeah. Snow is very hard in Minnesota. If anybody's familiar, they took me to Giants Ridge in northern Minnesota. I couldn't tell you the town, but I guess you know Giants Ridge if you've been there. But yeah, it's like this giant ski lodge. It was pretty cool. They had a cafeteria. I got I got very well acquainted with the Bunny Hill. It was me and a bunch of kids. Let me tell you, it was very humbling when you're trying to. Okay, let me tell you this. When you go to Minnesota, anybody born in Minnesota, as soon as they're born, they're either handed skis or a hockey stick. Okay? That is very evident with how many children were slaying it on the greens and blues and even a couple black diamonds down
I don't
those
know what that
freaking
means.
mountains. So when it comes to outside of the Bunny Hill, the easy quote easy routes are the green lanes. The moderate is the blue lanes, and then the black diamonds are the hardest ones, and sometimes those could be deadly because of how steep they are sometimes. And yeah, you saw kids on all routes over there. I think it's because Minnesota. That's just part of your growing up. Not me. Like I said, it's very humbling
good
to
old
be on.
Central Iowa boy.
Yeah, it's very humbling to be on the Bunny Hill because you don't have a ski lift to take you up the Bunny Hill. You have this thing called what Mike calls a magic carpet. I was so heavy on this magic carpet. It's basically like
A pulley, or they like you sit on this like thing and they pull you up.
what do you call that thing that you put your groceries on?
Conveyor belt.
Yeah, it's a conveyor belt. I was too heavy for this conveyor belt. Not too heavy because it obviously didn't get stuck or anything. But obviously I was scratching the bottom of whatever was underneath the conveyor belt, and I was the only person making that noise compared to the little children around me. But yeah, obviously this entire vibe was created for children. I'm sweating standing at the top of this bunny hill with fucking PJ Masks theme song playing in the back and Mickey Mouse Clubhouse theme song playing in the back. And I'm like, gosh. It took a few times for me to get down the bunny hill, the kids hill, without wiping out. And let me tell you, I landed on my ass about 20 times, wiped out about 30 times.
Your skin looks really good right now. I don't know what it was, but like for some reason
I've been very nauseous all weekend.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, dude, like, I don't know. Maybe I psyched myself out before we went to the ski resort, but like, I was super nervous. And before I was even nervous, I was nauseous on car rides, which means I was just not supplying myself with something, right? I had drank plenty of water that morning, but guess who stayed up till 2 a.m. because they just couldn't sleep the night before. So I'm running on like 6 hours of sleep. We did not eat breakfast, so I've had no food. And I've already been nauseous all weekend. And we're also at 2,000 feet elevation. I almost died on the mountain. Like, I know that sounds dramatic, but I was seeing stars and almost blacking out. So how it goes is, like, I went about anywhere between 20 to 60 to 80 feet before wiping out, going down this entire mountain.
Define wiping out, because, like, I feel like sometimes you probably just fell on your ass. And sometimes you probably actually, like...
Oh, okay, so, like, I never really rocked my shit. It only started hurting up until about when I was getting in the 20s for total wipeouts, you know? But that's just, you know, damage over time. But, yeah, near the end of the day, my head started getting rattled because of how many times I had. But like I want to say about 80% of my wipeouts were actually on purpose, because
like a controlled crash.
A controlled crash, because I had a hard time trying to steer. I have not learned how to steer, and more importantly, I have not learned how to stop. And if you don't stop going down this particular mountain, you would probably be going at least 60 miles an hour if you never stopped going from top to bottom of this mountain. And Isaac doesn't want to go that fast. That's bone-breaking speeds, okay? I don't have health insurance yet, okay? Screw that. So yes, there's been a few times where it's like, oh crap, I'm going too fast. I don't want to hit a person, and I don't want to hit the trees. I'm landing on my ass right now. So.
But like, my initial question, define wiping out. Did you like, you said you'd never rocked your shit. Mm-hmm. Which I guess, okay, but like...
there's probably bruises on my ass. I have not checked.
Tell me what your worst one was.
What my worst one was?
Describe it to me.
Okay.
And then describe to me what your not so, like, your least...
I can tell you what the funnest one was.
The funnest one?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Just tell me what the worst one, the funnest one, and then the least effective one.
Okay, so the worst one is when... The worst one is when you can fall forward, because that's when you might land on your face, but you have to sacrifice your arms. Your arms are not as padded as your ass, okay? Because yes. I had long underwear on right now, and I have these sweatpants on, and then I had snow pants on. So the best scenario I can do is to land on my butt, because even though the snow is still hard, and if you land on your butt enough times, it still freaking hurts. It's still a better option than falling forward, because I fell forward a few times, and if you don't hold up on your arms, maybe you even punch yourself in the face. I did not do that, but you're actually even more I feel like my head was more affected falling forward than falling backward. The funnest wipeout was...
You didn't really even say what, though. You just fell forward once?
Yeah, I mean, there was nothing memorable. I just fell down a lot. There was nothing really bad,
okay, thankfully.
But the funnest wipeout was when I landed on my ass, and...
You just kept going, didn't you?
I went down the hill by a good 100 feet. I was just, like, planking and riding my ass.
How fast were you going, or was it just like the
It was
snow
actually a
slick?
really good speed,
I
but
mean,
it was
like,
not scary fast.
how fast were you going to have that happen?
Oh, I was going pretty good. Probably one of the only wipeouts where I bailed before slowing down, because like a lot of the times my wipeouts, it kind of goes halvesies on was it intentional or was it not intentional, where I was trying to practice stopping, and sometimes my board, it will get adjacent to the slope and I'll just fall forward. um, so yeah, that's yeah.
So like, when you this sliding one, you were going. You
Yeah,
were going
I
fast,
did not
then you
slow
fell
down.
and just kept going.
Yeah,
or
I
like,
fell down before slowing down on that one.
Okay.
That was pretty fun. Yeah.
Okay. What was
Slowing
like
yourself down on that one could be fun dependent on the person, because the way you slow yourself down when you're on your ass sliding down the mountain is you have to use your snowboard to stop the snow, but then the snow goes up and hits you in the face and it's like snowing on you. That's pretty funny. I left out myself a lot. But honestly, honest to God, the worst part, as I already foreshadowed, was when Mike left me. It didn't suck because Mike left me, but he wanted to continue down the hill because he kept on worrying about us being in people's way, which is bullshit, because you have probably about a 50-foot lane, okay? I am a 5-foot gap if I'm positioned the right way. Go around, ass. I'm obviously not as good as you. But yeah, when he went down the hill, I was just catching some air, and then all of a sudden I just really struggled to breathe. There was like a ton of factors that I was considering. It's like, is it because I didn't eat? Is it because I didn't sleep? Is it because I have been nauseous all weekend? It's probably been a combination of all of those, because I was literally seeing stars and blacking out at the same time.
Was it like while you were going down the hill? Or
No,
was
I
it
was
just
laying
like...
down. I was just laying down, resting by this tree, and I laid on my back to see if I could like expand my lungs. I was going like, and I know it wasn't because of like, I don't know, straining my body because of physical activity. I face physical activity every single day.
I was thinking maybe you hit like a patch where it was like really cold, and like the air was a lot thinner.
That's what I was thinking. Like, maybe the elevation had something to do with it as well.
I mean, obviously the air's thinner at that elevation, but like maybe it was just like a cold front and the air got even thinner.
Yeah, because like I rested my head. I laid flat on my back. I looked at the sky. I saw the blue sky. I saw the green branches. I saw the snow in the air. I'm like, if I died, this would fucking suck. So I'm like, as much as I really don't want to move, I have to go down. I have no choice but to go down. And as I'm in the middle of struggling and just laying on my side and trying to collect myself, because like there's this panic, right?
Yeah.
There's this panic of, I really don't want to go anywhere, but I feel like if I don't go anywhere, I might get worse. There was actually a really nice lady who, I had my eyes closed and I just hear, "Are you okay?" This is a nice little, middle-aged lady. I'm like, I mean, yeah. I was a little embarrassed, but I was like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with me physically. She thought I crashed or something, right? I mean, of course, if I'm stopped, I probably crashed. But anyways, that's besides the point. I was like, no, there's nothing wrong with me physically. I got this. She's like, do you want me to call the ski patrol? I'm like, God, no.
Yeah.
Please don't. No, I got this. I just need a second. She's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. She's like, okay. And then she snows off. And then about, I don't know, 2 minutes later, there's this asshole dad. And I just hear him say, "What the heck is that guy doing?" Okay, jerk. And then his like asshole son, easily he's gonna raise him to be an equal asshole, just laughs right at me with his dad. And it's like, okay, that's not fun. I'm on the ground, obviously struggling, and you say something like that. Okay, cool. Not even say anything to me, but say something in front of me, well, to your son as if I'm some fucking animal. But you know, whatever. Be better. That's all I really have to say about that. But otherwise, I still think if I do get better at snowboarding, I would have been down the hill anyways, you know, at that point. I believe, because there was points in the snowboarding trip where I was not wiping out, because like the parts where I was most nervous is I don't want to hit any trees and I don't want to hit any people. And then there was those parts where I was just down the slope on the mountain or on the bunny hill where there was nobody around and I was just standing up, not worried about turning, not worried about stopping. Those were the moments that I really liked, and that's why I still like snowboarding despite the mid-traumatic experience, you know. So I think all I have to do is get better. I have to not psych myself out. I have to mentally get over the fears of those things, and with that I will get better at it. So,
and also make sure your body is in
I have to feed myself and water myself and sleep before then. So yeah.
That's like I said though. When it comes to turning, I know this is the case with skateboards as well. It's a lot of in the ankles, like pivoting and whatnot.
Mike was like, if you want to slow down or turn, use your heels, not your toes. I'm like, I did. I'm trying.
I feel like I'm trying is a better word or better answer than I did.
I mean, I did use my heels, but I'm like, I mean, that's not really
Obviously,
doing anything.
you didn't do it right.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
But like at the same time, every single time where I executed it right, because like Mike, he would shift side, because like, you know, you're on a snowboard, you're like this, and then like you slow yourself down. Sometimes you switch sides like this, and I did that once, but I didn't stop when I was snowboarding backwards, and it scared the shit out of me. That was not a good combination.
You like.
I force failed immediately once that started to happen. But yeah, I'm not giving up on snowboarding. But I think in this entire trip, I think I learned that I'm more of a skier than a snowboarder. Mike's like, well, how do you know that? It might be harder. I'm like, the way I see it, I was never a skateboarder. I've tried skateboarding. I've always sucked at skateboarding. Really good at roller skates. Really good at skating. So maybe I'm a skier. But I'm not trying to put the money in to find out.
Some people would say that skateboarding and snowboarding are very different.
I mean, of course they're very different. You're going to have those guys that are going to be like, they're not the same. But like, the way I see it, I'm uncoordinated as shit. So if you can get me in skis where I'm facing forward the way God intended, with 2 feet, able to move, you know, independently, I'll take it.
Was there ever a moment where you were standing and then like you just started going that way? You're not looking at me.
Wait.
What?
My computer's at 11%. I'm gonna steal this charger right here.
Yeah, I thought your computer was plugged in.
Yeah, that's the thing with these batteries, bro. They're bad. They're so bad.
I think they're just old, rather than over anything.
Were you gonna say something?
Yeah. Were you ever at a point where you were like standing just like this, and then you just started moving forward? You're still not looking.
Yes. That was like the ideal position you want to be in if you're trying to slow yourself down. Mike did it a few times. I successfully did it a couple times. I made sure that, like, the only time I successfully stopped is when, like, the slopes just stopped being so steep and gravity just slowed me down. But as long as I came to a stop without actually eating snow, you know, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
You want to know about the other half of my Minnesota trip, though?
There was another half?
Yeah. So, like, it was a trip that was, like, you go there on Friday, and then you leave on Monday. But we only snowboarded on Sunday. What we actually did, we actually watched quite a few football games. I won't really get into that, but that's really what we did. We watched quite a few movies. I actually really did get to watch Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Okay.
And Inglourious Bastards.
I haven't seen that yet. I still want to.
Yeah, apparently Inglourious Bastards is one of Mike's favorite movies.
With good reason. I've heard fantastic things.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino has a very unique way of putting things chronologically. And this movie was put into chapters to introduce all the different parties involved in this movie. He has a very unique way of telling the story. I don't think he has any crazy stuff that he's responsible for visually. I think he is actually most awarded for how he tells stories chronologically. I'm only saying that because I'm not really a Quentin Tarantino fan. I think as a person and not as an artist, he's a bit of an asshole. But I guess that was an unrelated turn.
If it's not Lucasfilm or George Lucas or something, or or Steven Spielberg, I probably would. I think I would enjoy seeing Quentin Tarantino direct a Indiana Jones movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I would find that very interesting as well.
I think he could actually pull that off and make it
I
good.
think Pulp Fiction is one of the best movies. Best written movie of all time.
Speaking of, who's directing? Is it Spielberg?
The new Indiana Jones movie?
Yeah.
Of course he is.
Well, it's a
You could ask
Lucasfilm.
me that.
It's a Lucasfilm, IP. So I'm curious.
But no, that first Saturday we went bird watching
Really?
and nature walks and stuff
Really?
like that. Yeah.
I'll admit that is not my cup of tea, but I get it.
I wasn't crazy about the bird watching. I wasn't crazy about most of that day, especially since most of it was just traveling to place by car. But, there was a little bit of hiking involved, and I liked that part. I really love to soak in the winter wonderlands of Minnesota, and I really liked that. Especially when you're wearing the proper stuff, you don't really have to worry about how cold it is. And it's just stellar and so beautiful because of it.
So, the new Indiana Jones is actually directed by James Mangold.
Really?
Yeah. Looking at it right now.
No freaking way.
As a matter of fact, I'm not seeing...
I could have sworn Steven Spielberg was working on it. But I guess he's working on a couple things this year. He's working on a new
I'm not seeing
Bullet
Spielberg
movie.
being involved at all. Not even a producer. Looks like Kathleen Kennedy, Frank Marshall, and Simon Emanuel are producing it.
That's weird. Maybe Steven Spielberg opted out.
Maybe.
Because, actually, one thing that I feel like I have yet to say about Steven Spielberg, even though I have said so many things about Steven Spielberg, Steven Spielberg doesn't really like to do forced sequels. Because if you look into it, he didn't make Jaws 2. He didn't make a lot of sequels that the companies wanted him to make.
So, James Mangold replaced Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg was actually originally going to be the director.
Really?
But he I guess, opted out of it in early last year. Something going back to what you just said about forced sequels, Indiana Jones 5 is actually not so much a production sequel that the company wants to make. This was actually something Harrison Ford wanted to make.
You know what? I believe that through and through.
He wanted.
Do you think Ford wants to do this before he retires? Do you think this is his last thing?
No, this is the last one. That he said this, yeah, because
not the last Indiana Jones, but his last thing as his career.
I mean,
Actually, no. He's gonna be that guy in the Marvel.
Yeah.
So no.
As I was saying, Harrison Ford went on record to say that he was waiting for a good ending to the Indiana Jones character. So that means, yes, obviously this is the ending of the story. So he's either gonna die or fucking
Retire.
yeah. I don't.
Give his hat to Shia LaBeouf or something.
I don't know how that's gonna go. I'm really interested on how they're gonna like handle that.
We need to watch the Crystal Skull together before we go watch this movie.
Why?
Because I have not seen the Crystal Skull since it was like a newer movie.
I saw it in theaters. That was pretty cool.
I saw it in theaters.
I also read the book.
Really?
The book was a lot better than the movie.
That's what a lot of people say.
Yeah. Yeah. But this was like a book adaptation of a movie that already existed. So it was like the opposite typical thing. But yeah, I just think that's interesting that Spielberg was decided to not be part of that anymore.
Yeah.
So what else did you guys do on your trip?
Well, let's see. I gotta say, like, the only interesting stops that we made was this place. Honestly, there's a couple. I think it's because of the Minnesota Vikings, but there's a couple things that are quite Nordic inspiration.
Oh yeah, that's definitely because Minnesota. So,
we made this one stop at like this giant gas station because like you run into like to those giga gas stations. I think it was like a truck stop, I guess, but there was this place called the Skull Tavern, and it had obvious Viking themes. You walk in, there's a Viking statue and a shield maiden statue with a awesome backdrop of a long ship, and the whole gas station was built like a long house.
really?
Yeah, it was really cool. I ought to show you the videos. Speaking of videos, a lot of my weekend will be filmed and put on Patreon. Zero snowboarding film because there was no way I was going to hold my iPhone and wipe out at the same time.
Do you think the GoPro would have survived?
Do I think the GoPro would have survived? I did not land on my helmet once.
So yeah, probably.
So yeah.
I was actually expecting you to come by the house to come and get it, and then you didn't. So
Really?
yeah.
Damn. So did you buy the attachment and everything?
No, I told you I already had one.
Oh, okay. But yeah, maybe here another time we can do that. Maybe on my bike rides
Maybe.
in the summer. That'd be fun. But
That would be interesting, actually. That would be interesting.
yeah, like I bike all the way to Sailorville again.
Yeah.
Yeah, those would easily be an hour and a half videos.
Isaac narrates, but on a bike. I think that could actually be really neat.
Dude, because I have mastered riding a bike with one hand. Not with no hands. I don't know how people do that, but yeah. My next subject is actually lasting questions on this place.
I mean, I don't really have any. You've gone through everything that I care to ask about.
Okay.
Any?
We saw a porcupine on a tree.
I told you about that.
Yeah.
I told you about that.
You told me about that.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up.
Any good news for the podcast on the back end?
Yes, I have a couple announcements, and we have quite a few new followers for the Instagram. If you guys are new, if you haven't followed the Instagram, go ahead and follow it. What are you doing? It's at Too Many Words Podcast. Let me take a look and give a shout out to our newest followers. Let me go take a look at the notification history. Pirate_flag is our most recent follower, following us earlier today. Chris Spangler from my high school. At Jake from State 2023 started following us. And oh yeah, Adult ADHD _ official started following us. So that's three new followers. We are at 62 followers total.
That makes us at 3 different other podcasts following us, actually.
Yeah. So adult ADHD _ official is actually a special guest.
Episode number 4.
Episode number 4, Darren Dalton. We talked about adult ADHD for a brief moment in that episode. They're officially trying to get it rolling. Maybe find them on Spotify, maybe find them on YouTube. I don't know how far they've gotten in the process yet, but this will be the last episode of January, so they'll probably have a little bit of something for you. Adult ADHD with Darren and Jake. Go check it out.
I have an announcement.
Yeah, what's your announcement?
Last week you said you got someone to follow the podcast on Spotify?
Yes.
I got someone to follow the podcast on Spotify today.
Sweet.
So we were having outside help from different stores and different locations. We had this guy. He's really cool. I don't even know his name. Honestly, I forgot. I don't think I even actually looked at it. No, I didn't, because he had one of the best. Anyways, he's from the Helpful Smiles Technology Center, our IT department.
You said that really fast. What? He's from the Helpful Smiles IT department.
Helpful Smiles Technology Center.
Okay.
HSTC.
Okay.
Is what they call it. It's the IT department.
What did the tech guy have to do in the freaking meat department, brother?
They were just coming to the stores to help stock, run trucks, and just do things to get our stuff done. Because we've been understaffed and we're requesting help, and we've been busier and shit. Because corporate keeps giving us these ads that are brutal, to say the least. My manager, he's been with IV for a little bit longer than I have. I think he's almost 10 years or something like that. I'm not really too sure. He said that not this last week's ad, but the week before that, it was a 4-day ad. It was the second most aggressive ad he's ever seen for meat department.
What makes an ad aggressive? Like insane sales?
Yes. Like lots of products on sale, and all of them on a very big sale. Like we had New York strips for like $2.99. Ground beef $2.99 a pound.
Wow.
Or maybe even $1.90 a pound. I don't know. We had shredded cheese, 4 for $5. We had there was so much stuff, and it was just all on this huge sale, and it was really annoying, and because that was the first week after the holidays, Christmas, New Year's, and then we had this last week, which was also a pretty annoying sale, which had some other things I don't even remember because it's all a blur at this point now, honestly. But they haven't really given us a chance to rest, and it's kind of annoying. But we've gotten on, I guess, corporate and people about doing that and making sure we have the help for that. So we've been having outside help. And anyways, this guy showed up. He was here. He was there as soon as I got to work at 8 a.m. I was like, okay. I was not prepared for help, nor was I prepared for the truck to be there on time today. So, because it never is. Usually it gets there around 10:30. It's supposed to be there at 7. So, he was there on time, which was great. So this guy shows up. I stack off the truck with him, and then I send him off to run the cards, do the truck, and then I'm off doing other things, random stuff for the department, making sure everything looks nice and tidy throughout the rest of the store. I had to do a bunch of ancillary stuff, that was products in different aisles. But at the end of the day, he left at 3. It was about 2:40. All that we had left for running was frozen truck. I ran that with him because I was done doing everything I needed to do. We got that done in about 15 minutes. But
so this is your announcement?
I'm telling a story.
Oh, we should have said that because I would have finished the other short announcements.
Well, I didn't
continue with your story.
I never once said I was making an announcement.
Yes, you did.
No,
I said this thing is recorded. We can go over it.
I said that you know how whatever, it's fine. Anyways, Why you gotta interrupt me? You completely derailed my train of thought. Like, why? Are you
It was
doing-
about 3:40.
Yeah, because like, that's how my brain works. I have to think about these details.
Go ahead.
Okay. You're an asshole. You know that.
Sorry, I would have said our other announcements if we were gonna go down this rabbit hole.
Well, I thought you were done because you stopped talking.
You said I have an announcement. I was like, okay, go.
I didn't. Okay. Back on.
Do you
track.
finish your story, or do I say one short announcement that's literally one sentence?
I'm gonna finish because now I'm upset.
I'll make you feel better, baby girl.
No, you won't.
You're so pretty. Sitting across from me. I'm so glad we do this once a week.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
If you
Anyways,
had the parts for me to cheat on Hannah, I would. You know?
We were. What the fuck? We were running the frozen truck, like I said, and since this was our actually first time, like actually stocking something together, we were like conversating and talking, and he was like, "Yeah, any fun plans or any plans to do tonight?" And I was like, "Nah, I mean, I don't want to be the guy that like shamelessly self promotes.
Oh,
I mean, I have a podcast and I'm gonna record that tonight. I didn't even tell him the name of it like till the very end because he asked for it. I was really trying hard to not be that guy.
Oh no, that you did that perfectly. What you do is say, "Hey, I'm a podcaster," and then it is completely up to them to be like, "Oh, what's it called?"
Yeah. So he was like, "Oh, that's neat. What do you guys talk about?" I was just like, "It's just random stuff. Like we're talking about movies, comic books, sports lightly."
Cars.
I guess cars. I didn't bring that up, but like
I think cars is our second most significant topic
really,
behind movies.
I guess mostly because we keep talking about your fucking truck, bitch.
Which is also a topic that's probably behind work, and then like school's probably a top 5 subject too.
And yeah, I was just going over. We talked about he talked about the menu.
Oh,
I was like, I hadn't seen that, but Isaac saw it. And he was like, what did he think? And he said it was weird. And he was like, yeah, it is weird, the good kind of weird. He really liked it. It's apparently.
so I think stylistically the menu is awesome. It's unique. It's original. Okay, points for originality.
Mm-hmm.
It's an amazing movie, especially if you appreciate dark humor. But I went into it expecting a pure horror movie. Looking into it, though, it's actually a horror/comedy. But dark humor should really just be a genre.
I just expected it to be like a thriller, is what
Yeah,
I would call
exactly. The ending of the menu, I mean, I guess not how I would have ended it. It's just a little anticlimactic because, like,
you mentioned that before.
I know you would want to call it foreshadowing, but like, is it foreshadowing if exactly what you said happens? Like, sorry for spoilers if you want to see the menu, but like, an hour into the movie, they say, "We're all gonna die tonight," and then everybody dies tonight at the very end, except for our main character. Ooh, whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, and you said like he survives because he orders it to go.
Our female lead survives. Yeah, she's like, "Oh, I think my eyes were bigger than my stomach. Do you have a to-go bag?" He's like, "Yes." And then she fucking leaves on a boat, and then parks the boat in the middle of the ocean because this kitchen apparently is on an island. And then she sits on the front of the boat, takes her cheeseburger, takes a bite, and watches the place explode. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that's not how I would have ended it, especially if you foreshadow exactly what happens. I know foreshadowing is good. I think foreshadowing, when done correctly, is genius. But not like this.
The way the guy described it was like he was getting back at a bunch of rich snobs.
Yes. We all like to see assholes get their day, get even with bad people. Mm-hmm. Because, like, all of those people, they have reasons to say, oh, the audience must think that this person is a bad person. But I feel like they didn't go deep enough on... There were so many characters that you didn't go deep enough on any of them for you actually to, like, formulate a hatred towards any of them. Maybe, like, the douchebag company boys. Maybe the old man that was a pervert. But, like, you have nothing against, really... what's his name? He was in the Super Mario Brothers movie in 1993.
I know exactly who you're talking. The Mexican.
Yeah,
that's racist, but like I'm just gonna say it. Yeah. No, like he's a really good actor.
Yeah, he was in it. He was playing a has-been actor, but like very. I mean, one of these people were just a person who made a bad review on a restaurant and got that restaurant closed down, and then everybody had to find a new job. Ooh, what an asshole for being a freaking restaurant critic. You putting Gordon Ramsay in that situation? No, you're not. So, like, I'm just saying you could have written it to make me find those people more hateable for me to have more of a satisfaction towards the end of the movie. Call me a bad guy with no taste. I do believe that was a good movie. I think I would enjoy a rewatch. But like the ending,
maybe you'd appreciate it more in a rewatch. Sometimes that's what you need. But like,
yeah.
I hate.
That's all I would say into it. Sorry, I gave a full scale freaking review.
No, it's okay.
Of the menu.
It's all right. So he talked about that, and then I actually brought up your favorite movie of 2022, Barbarian.
Oh yeah.
He had never heard of it.
A lot of people haven't.
But I told him to look it up. It wasn't. I told him it wasn't my thing. I'm not into the horror thriller thing. So I was like, if you like that, then you probably will like this movie. Like I said, it was my co-host Isaac's favorite movie of 2022. And then I forget what we talked about after that, but we walked to the front of the meat department. We were done, and he was like, "Well, what's your podcast name? What are you guys on?" And I was like, "Well, it's the Too Many Words podcast." I was like, "Yeah, pretty easy to remember." And he was like, "Yeah, that's nice." And he was like, "Are you on Spotify? What?" I was like, "We're on all major things: Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube." I didn't plug the Instagram or anything because, like I said, I was trying to not be that guy. But he went and followed us on Spotify.
A follow on Spotify is almost worth more to me anyways. It's like, hey, they'll get that notification. Actually, no, they didn't ring the bell. But Spotify will tell them once they get on Spotify.
You said we got a follower on Instagram earlier today. It was the pirate one?
Pirate_flag.
Do we know who that is?
Chris Spangler. We went to high school together. You don't know him at all.
Wait, I thought you said that was a different person.
I mean, there's Jake from State. He went to high school with me as well.
Okay, I got it. You were saying that was Chris. Okay.
Yeah. But hey, last announcement is we, 43 minutes in, we have a lasting announcement. We have a new Twitter. Finally a Twitter. @ Too Many Words. Follow us on Twitter, baby.
I thought you were making a sports thing.
Dustin just went and made a Twitter by himself.
Like, was it the existing Twitter, or was it...
It was a completely new Twitter. So
did you tell him we had an existing Twitter?
I guess not.
That's kind of... I don't like that, to be honest.
We'll talk to him about it.
Okay. I mean, okay. Yeah, we can talk to him about that.
If you want to follow the original Twitter, it's TMW Podcasts.
What was his?
_ Too Many Words.
I tried that. It told me no.
But hey, you had a person follow on Spotify. I had a person follow on Spotify. Great segue for me to talk about my first impressions of my second semester at DMACC, spring semester. It is, honestly, I've only had 3 different school days at this point. I love everything about it. I love my Composition 2 class because this nice girl named Summer followed the podcast. That's the really great thing about first day of school introductions It's like, hey, tell us your name, your degree, and something interesting about you. Oh, well, hook, line, and freaking sinker. My name is Isaac Lingelbach. I am a liberal arts major, future journalism major. I want to be a screenwriter. And I guess a fun fact about me is I'm a podcaster. And then, oh, hey, what's your podcast? Are you on Spotify? Oh, yes, of course I am. Too Many Words Podcast is the name. And yeah, she was actually very obviously showing me her phone. I didn't ask, but like she showed me her phone over her shoulder to like obviously show me that she did indeed follow the podcast and save the 2 episodes that I recommended to her. And that was really nice of her. Yeah, shout out to Summer in my Composition 2 class. She's really cool for that. But yeah, DMACC, what are you laughing at over there?
Dustin updated the first 3 episodes and gave him a thumbnail.
Good. You could show me that later. I guess that's another announcement. Guys, we have fabricated how we look on YouTube. Okay? Same old videos that you love and adore, but we just look a little bit more professional with Dustin being our graphics designer for all of our YouTube thumbnails. And it will probably be something for the foreseeable future.
I actually quite like the crisp white background with the streaks in it. I like that a lot, actually. I think we can definitely make that part of our brand.
Yeah.
I think it goes with the mascot pretty well, actually.
Yeah. Good.
I was pulling this up for a reason. I wanted to check out. Oh, really? I didn't know that was a thing.
What are you talking about?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Well, we have to talk about things that like.
Okay.
We want our listeners to be in on it, let alone your co-host.
No, I'm doing something for my own stuff. While you were talking.
Okay. Well, anyways, I guess my first day back at spring semester was very interesting. So I'm taking a video production class.
Yeah. I didn't think that would happen. Okay.
So the way I put this, what?
Stop. I accidentally stopped recording. I did the same thing you did.
Okay. Are you continued recording? Jordan.
Okay, so it's just going to be a separate audio. Well, that's fun. Yeah. I did.
You crucified me for the same thing.
Yeah. This was unintentional, though. So that's the only difference.
Anyways, let's see. What was I talking about? Okay, so how I describe what my relationship might be with my video production teacher, I don't know if I will love him or I will hate him. Okay, to put it in short, I walk in a little bit late because the location of this class was 2 different locations. It was a 50-50 shot. I picked the wrong location and I left after 6 minutes late. So, to go to the other location. I walked in, I got quickly filled in that he had asked us to stand in a line and order us in calendar order of our birthdays without saying 2 things, which is my birthday is this and or what is your birthday. We had to figure that out. So, we use like astrology.
Halloween.
What?
Halloween.
We used astrology and holidays. That's basically all that we used to get ourselves in order. And then he's like, all right, are you guys calling yourselves done? And then all of us were like, I guess. And he's like, okay, so what did I say to get that you had to do to get in this line? Order us from our birthdays. Okay, and what were the rules? Not to ask someone's birthday and not to say your birthday. Okay. Did I say you couldn't use astrology? Did I say you couldn't use holidays? Did I say that if you were born in May, you could hold up 5 on your chest? Did I say you couldn't do an interpretive dance to represent what your birthday was? Or tap your feet on the ground to signify the date of your birthday month or week or whatever? And he just kept on saying this and saying this. And that was this entire representation of how he doesn't like assumptions. Don't assume you can't use any of those things. So, when I use a microphone for my first assignment, and he counts that against as editing the video, I'm going to be like, did you say I couldn't use a microphone? I hope he didn't say that. But I'm not going to ask him because he has been thus far, a smartass in that regard. If someone has been asking him a question, he's like, did I say you couldn't?
I think you found your best friend.
Honestly,
this man is literally you.
As I said, I don't know if I'm going to hate him or is he's going to be my favorite teacher, bro. Because like, oh man, I can totally see myself being so angry with him. But like, I can totally see myself outsmarting his ass a couple times.
This man is literally you. You hate assumptions, and you're a fucking smartass. That's you.
Because he majored in a couple things, and one of them was communication. And obviously,
ask him if he likes Vikings.
Obviously, he is flexing his communications major. He's not flexing it like, oh, my major was this. But obviously, with what I just explained, he's very, very, very particular with what has been said and what has not been said. Communication is key. That's my kind of style, okay? Just put out everything that I need to get an A. I will do it, okay? And if something has not explicitly been said to not do, I'll just do it, you know?
Like I said, you gotta ask him if he likes Vikings.
I don't know if he likes Vikings. He's actually a freelance video editor for, like, ESPN and stuff like that. He's actually, like, I think he's met, like, a few athletes. He's not a sports fan at all.
Monster truck.
But yeah.
Wait, he's not a sports fan?
He's not a sports fan. He just works for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that's agony, but, you know.
I mean, I guess if you're really good at video production, I mean, you get hired for things that you're not particularly crazy about.
Well, yeah, but I would just be like, I don't want to do that.
Visually, I have stopped recording because there's no space on my computer. So it's just gonna be you. It's just gonna be you.
How many times have I told you to clear those old videos?
Oh, I've deleted a few episodes because that same problem happened on an episode of Reigning and Defending.
I mean,
I guess I gotta wipe everything.
You can delete all of them up to this episode because I have all of them.
I guess I'll do quite a bit of editing tonight after we get a external hard drive.
Okay.
But I guess the last 10 minutes will be on you. But yeah, I guess I'll keep you guys not weekly, but various updates on this video production teacher that I don't know if I love or hate. But
honestly, if you want my true real opinion, I think you're gonna end up hating him because he's so much like you. That's just usually how that
usually
goes.
How that goes. It's like a mother-daughter thing.
Yeah, it's just you can't get along with yourself.
He hates the Star Wars prequels.
Prequels? How old is
he? I don't know. Probably in his 40s.
Yeah. Okay, that's why. If he was, so the biggest demographic for people that like the prequels are the ones that were born when they came out.
Oh yeah, I have no problem with episode 1. I had that on VHS. But that's actually, he talked about how his greatest movie experience was when he went out to go see episode 1. And like, I don't know, they were getting drunk. There was like a special event because, I don't know, Star Wars is a very big deal, you know?
Episode 1 release was huge.
Yeah.
Like,
just like the original movies.
Still bigger than anything that's ever come to date. Even the sequel trilogy. Yeah. Like, when that was, because like Mark Lucas, George Lucas, he had been literally saying and producing or whatever this movie since the ending of the first movie or the last episode 6. Like he was doing stuff for this. He was writing the script or whatever, and I don't know, doing production stuff. What's up? You're looking at stuff. Is something broken?
My Audacity just crashed.
Oh.
And it did not save any of my audio.
It has Audacity is supposed to have a recovery feature. Don't touch anything.
This is getting me very upset.
But Audacity probably crashed for the same reason.
Do we close this episode now?
Yeah, we're gonna have to. I think that's the best idea, actually. Come here. Come get over here.
Man, I wanted this to be like the best production value.
Well, it was up. It was good up until like 5 minutes ago, or actually 10 minutes ago. Anyways, this has been the Too Many Words podcast. Isaac,
Episode
and
23.
Jordan.
Wait a second.
Episode 23.
Let me go over the closer. We'll just go over quick stuff. What is the question for this episode, Jordan?
What's your favorite Star Wars saga? The prequels, sequels, or the original trilogy? I don't know. I feel like that's a good question because that's what we ended up on.
Guys, whatever you're listening on, whether it be Spotify, Apple, or Google Podcasts, please rate us 5 stars to help us with that algorithm. Watch us on YouTube, Scald Stone Productions. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And please, if you're a reader, if you want to check us out personally, our bios are on the website of thescaldstone.com. Jordan, who or what do you want to dedicate this episode out to?
Random dude that checked us out today. This episode goes out to you.
Summer, who checked out the podcast last Thursday. This episode goes out to you. 1, 2, 3, amen.
We don't do it. You gotta we gotta count.
And then they all said, 1, 2, 3,
amen.